Welcome to City on a Hill Gaming, a tabletop RPG actual play podcast. To find out more, download episodes wherever you get podcasts, or visit us online at cityonahillgaming.com, or by sending us an email at cityonahillgaming@gmail.com. You can also support us on patreon.com/cityonahillgaming. We hope you enjoy our show. Welcome back to City on a Hill Gaming. This is Ryan, on my own today, because I had this whole thing worked out that I was going to air today. This thing we recorded a while back, just in case we ever needed it. So now this is where I apologize to Daniel, because that thing I recorded in case we ever needed it, which was a really nice conversation with Daniel, I think got deleted. I have no idea where it is, if I'm just being completely honest with you. So in the interim, because we do record tonight, and the day I'm recording this, we are going to be recording this evening, hopefully, the first session of a new short game that I think you guys are going to enjoy. It's a very different, but it seems very us. Grant's going to be jamming, so hopefully you'll enjoy that. But in the interim, I'm just going to talk to you guys for a few minutes, and then hopefully in the next week or two, the thing we record tonight will come out. It is a system, and I'm going to Google it to make sure I give you all the pertinent, correct information. The system is called Wonder Home. It is from Possum Creek Games, and is very fuzzy and very friendly, and I think it's going to be a good time. I am excited about my character. I think it's going to be interesting to see what we make of it. It's a unique system, and I think it's one that feels like it's suited to us. So, what else are we looking at doing coming up? Well, we are in talks. I sound like I'm merging a company. I'm talking with someone who's run something for us before about potentially us bringing you some Star Wars content in the near future, in the new year, I suppose. We are also looking at potentially still a Christmas special for this year. We'll see. We've had some real life came up for someone who was a part of that, and we'll see where we get around on it. It'll come at some point. I'm hoping it comes in time for Christmas. We will have to do some checking. We are obviously still doing our Kingmaker game. Hopefully going to get back with them soon. We obviously, I think you guys have already heard that. We had a scheduling kerfuffle, and therefore did not get to record Kingmaker last time we planned to, but hopefully more Kingmaker coming soon as well. I have a Wild West thing I want to try at some point. I don't know exactly what we're going to do with it. And if we poke around long enough, I can almost guarantee you're going to hear some more Roll for Shoes or something in the future like that. And I was talking to someone in the last day or two who also has some suggestions for things we might try. So we'll see what we get about there. We've become more of a TTRPG podcast and less of a traditional game podcast, at least for the time being. That said, we are working. I've got a couple people who are going to hopefully be helping me with a new full season for the regular group. I don't want to call it season 5 necessarily, just because season 4 ended so abruptly due to scheduling issues, but we are working on something. I have a 5 or 6 book whole thing. I say working on. It's been a hot minute since I've poked it, but I need to poke it again. It is called The Will of the Architects. The Architects are something I started working on a couple of years ago with someone, and I haven't really gotten to use them yet, but I'm hoping to use them here. It's going to be set in our usual City on a Hill world, but in a couple parts of the world we haven't explored yet, and at least one that we sort of have. We're going to dig deep and make some callbacks, and I'm excited about it. We'll see what comes of it, but the idea I have so far, I'm very happy with. I'm just going to spoil. I'm looking through my notes. I'm just going to spoil one NPC. Her name is Lancer Olivia, and she is known as the Caller of the Yuriko. I can't read my own handwriting. I apologize. It's Caller of the Unico, as I look at it more closely. And she is a lancer by trade, so like a mounted person with like an actual lance and a shield and stuff. And I'm very excited for this character. It's an NPC that's important to me for a personal reason that I won't get into, but I'm excited to see what happens with that and just how this kind of goes as it unfolds. I don't really know what to tell you guys, especially about what's upcoming, because there are a lot of things I want to do, and I do hope we get to do, but scheduling adults is hard, and Ryan making the mental space to actually try and work on things is also not the easiest thing in the world, which largely means that's probably time for me to reach back out to our editor to see if he's available to help again. So that's probably going to be in the near future. I'll reach out to him and see if I can't get him to do some editing to kind of get us moving back in a more specific direction. You may also see some stuff released, and I don't know in what form necessarily, but some cosmology and world building stuff for the City on a Hill world. One of the discussions we had recently was just the group kind of wanting to see some more specifics about the world and the cosmology, and I've kind of world built as a necessity, and I've only filled in the blanks, kind of as I've had to. And so that is something I'm going to be working on more, is just kind of trying to get a more specific, focused thing down, that whether someone's running something in the world or they just have questions, I'm not just having to make up stuff on the spot and then not remembering it 2 years later when it comes up again. That's definitely a Ryan thing, and that has bit me more than once. So we're hoping to avoid that going forward. In general, I just want to say, thank you to you guys for listening. We're coming up on almost 6 years since God started poking me about this idea, and probably 5.5 since we started uploading. And it has been a journey. But it is a journey I have loved doing, and it's not always been the smoothest thing or my favorite thing, and there are definitely times I've struggled with it, but I'm glad we do it. I think we're supposed to be doing it, and I love the folks I get to do it with. I can't believe they show up all the time to do this. It makes me very happy. And as always, I want to thank our Patreon sponsors, JD, Bryan, Sir Lord Epicname, Andrew, Christina, and Tony, and just anybody else who supported us in the past. Even if you can't anymore or just aren't right now, that's fine. I always said when we started doing Patreon, I always said that was never going to be the point. If the show had no support on Patreon, so be it. That doesn't matter. But you guys have decided that you enjoy what we do enough that you want to help us, pay for the little costs that we do have on the back end. And I appreciate that deeply. You guys don't know how much that does mean to just me, and that it lets me do things like pay for our Roll20 account or our D&D Beyond account, or pick up PDFs of the different games we're going to try and play. And I do very much appreciate that. So thank you guys so much. I'm going to head out. I'm going to edit this. I'm going to get it uploaded so that at least something's showing up in your feed, so you know that we haven't gone anywhere. And we should be back soon with more Kingmaker, with all sorts of other interesting things. Like I said, hopefully that Star Wars game, the Wander Home thing we're going to be starting, which will be a couple sessions long. I think it's going to be another Grant DMs for a little while thing, and then we will go from there as always. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate it. If you have any feedback or things you'd like to see us do or questions you have, you can email us at cityontheHillgaming@gmail.com. Thanks for listening, and have a blessed day. Thanks for listening to City on the Hill Gaming. If you'd like to know more, find us online at cityonthehillgaming.com or by sending us an email at cityonthehillgaming@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter at CityOnTheHillGame, or find us online at patreon.com/CityOnTheHillGaming. Thanks as always to our Patreon backers, Grizzly Rich, JD, Bryan, Sir Lord Epicname, Andrew, Christina, and Tony. We really thank you guys for everything you do to support the show, and we truly appreciate you. Thanks for listening, and have a blessed day.